Special thanks to QLT South for hooking us up on today's build. They offer PC sales and repair at very affordable prices. Check them out at their Facebook page down in the description. Hey, what's up guys, and we're here for another PC build. This time it will be for the channel's daily driver, and we're going to build it using these parts. The complete list of parts used will be linked down in the description, and the cost per part will be shown as we build the PC. Let's start this build with the motherboard. I went for Gigabyte's B650 Aorus Elite AX, which I got for around $250 US. It supports Ryzen 7000 series processors with its AM5 chipset and dual-channel DDR5 memory with speeds up to 6666 MHz. It also supports AMD's Expo or extended profiles for overclocking and the XMP for easy overclock of RAM modules. The board also has Gen 5 PCIe lane through the topmost X16 PCIe slot. Other technical features include its 8+4 solid pin power connectors and 14+2+1 power stages rated for 70 amps and 8-layer copper PCB. For connectivity, the board has a built-in Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5 gigabit LAN port. The board is also DIY friendly with its M.2 and PCIe Easy Latch. You can find this board for a cheaper price than what I got at around $220 US. And for that price, this is currently one of the better value motherboards for the AM5 chipset in the market. At the heart of this build will be the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. With its 8 physical cores, 16 threads, and AMD's 3D V-Cache, this processor is arguably one of the best gaming processors currently in the market. I bought this at around $507 US. Purchasing this also qualifies you to get a free copy of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which comes out on April 28th of this year. For the RAM, I went with 32 gigs of Gskill's DDR5 Trident Z5 RGB. And yes, I'm perfectly aware this is not an AMD QVL RAM. It's actually a QVL for Intel setups. But for the sake of science,
yes, science!
I'm going to test this and see if there will be instability, especially when XMP is enabled. Rated at 6000 MHz with 36 CAS latency, this is priced at around $175 US. But the price of DDR5 RAMs should steadily decrease in the foreseeable future as DDR5 slowly becomes the mainstream memory module. As for the storage, I went with 4TB of Crucial's P3 Plus, which I got for around $265 US. With rated speeds of 4800 MB sequential read and 4100 MB sequential write, this PC should have no issues with gaming loading times and accessing files. And it's also covered by a 5-year warranty by Crucial, so if it fails within such a period, you can easily get a replacement, which is a big plus. For our case, I went with Hyte Y40, a mid-tower chassis with 2-piece panoramic glass design similar to that of the Lian dynamic lineup. However, what's unique with this case is that it only supports a vertical mount GPU with its included PCIe 4.0 X16 riser, which is slowly becoming a trend as more cases start to add vertical GPU mount support to their design. But to be completely honest, I went with the Y40 so that my Y60 build will have its little brother close to it. The case supports up to 360mm of radiator at the top and up to 7 120mm fans total, which is a perfect segue to our AIO fans. Cooling this setup will be NZXT's Kraken X73 AIO paired with Lian Unifan SL120 V2 fans. The Kraken X73 delivers the highest cooling potential the Kraken lineup has to offer. It performs similarly with the Kraken Z73. The only difference between the two is that the Z73 has a digital LCD at the pump, while the X73 only has an RGB infinity mirror with NZXT's logo at the block. NZXT covers a 6-year warranty for the AIO, which is also a big plus. As for the Unifans, it features an interlocking design which supports up to 4 fans at a time, which in turn results in less wires cluttering up the insides of any build. And in our case, I only needed to connect 3 wires to the fan controller in order to control all of the 6 fans. The X73 plus 6 Unifans with 1 controller cost me around $320. Powering this build will be Seasonic's Focus PX850 Platinum. It achieves its 80 plus Platinum certification by being 92% efficient at 50% system load, which means possible energy savings. It's also fully modular and has a hybrid silent fan control system where the fans don't spin when under 30% load. I got this for $156, and again, I'm going to remind you that don't skimp out on your power supply. Time to put everything together in a short montage, then we finally add the last part to this build. And finally, we go to our GPU. And I went with Gigabyte's RTX 4070 Gaming OC, which I got for around $760. It features Nvidia's latest 4th generation Tensor cores, which enables DLSS 3 and boasts of up to ×2 ray tracing performance with its 3rd generation ray tracing cores. And it has 12 gigs of DDR6X VRAM with 192-bit memory interface. This particular model is equipped with 3 alternating spinning fans for increased air pressure, large copper plate and heat pipes for faster heat dissipation, and of course RGB fusion, which matches up with our vertical mount configuration to highlight those ring lights. Here's a quick rundown of the parts used and their prices. Do take note that all purchases were made at a local store here in the Philippines, so expect varying prices depending on your location. This gives us a total price of $2,576. Now it's time to close the case and a little bit of an ASMR for you guys as I remove the plastic covers of the tempered glass. And we are done! The final product looks amazing. But before we go to some benchmarks, here's a little optimization guide for this setup. In order to do this, we need to go to the BIOS and enable XMP and set it to the actual rated speed your RAM comes with. After that, go to the PBO and set it to advanced and apply the same settings that I used here. Enabling PBO can result to higher temps, so do keep that in mind. Now it's time to see how this setup performs on synthetic and gaming benchmarks. On Cinebench R23, this system managed to score decent points on stock, while enabling PBO with XMP bumped the points by a small margin. TimeSpy also saw a little bit of increase in performance, jumping from stock to PBO with XMP. On Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the system had similar results. But to be fair, this test was mostly GPU bound, so we're really not going to see much difference here with our PBO and XMP. The same goes with Cyberpunk 2077. The benchmark test was mostly GPU bound as it was tested at ultra settings in 1440p resolution. And to no surprise, the same can be observed with F1 2022 as this benchmark test was mostly GPU bound when tested on 1440p ultra high preset. Overall, I'm very satisfied with this build. It performs exceptionally well on games and it can also manage to do multitasking on applications with ease. This would be a great addition to my setup and hopefully I can take advantage of its capabilities when making content for you guys. On that note, we end this video. I would love to hear your feedbacks regarding the build down in the comment section. Drop a like if you liked the video and consider subscribing to support the channel. See you guys on the next video. Peace!